times two. So right after I got finished recording the shrimp chowder soup recipe that I made a little bit ago, seriously, as I go to edit the video to get it all scheduled for this Thursday, the new sales flyer came out and showed up in my email, and I was like, what? Because I prefer to share recipes of ingredients that are on sale, right? You can use these recipes anytime, but obviously it's more fun when you know you can get the ingredients on sale. So I'm doing 2 recipes today. This is the second one. And honestly, I just had so many fun ideas. Don't get used to 2 recipes every Thursday because it'll probably be just 1 every Thursday. But as I was planning out according to what was on sale and had all these recipe ideas, I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good right now. So I'm gonna show you a really fun thing. Where'd it go? Ah, there we go. Strawberries. Strawberries! They're going on sale for November. So I'm gonna show you the easiest, oh my gosh, super easiest cake you can ever make. I'm actually gonna make them into cupcakes. You can make it as a cake or cupcakes. And this recipe is so easy and all shelf-stable ingredients, and you can alter it so many different ways. It is thebomb.com. So I'm gonna show you this one. I think today I'm going to do strawberry, kind of like a strawberry shortcake, but then I thought for cream cheese frosting, so it's like a strawberries and cream, but I'm gonna add coconut extract instead of vanilla in the frosting. So it's gonna be like a strawberry coconut cream frosting. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So let's make it. Let me show you how to do this. So easy. Okay, for this recipe, you'll see how simple this is. Literally 3 ingredients. These are so easy. We're gonna start with our white cake mix. Now, if you wanna make this, you can do so many different variations of this. You can use chocolate cake mix, strawberry, vanilla, any kind of cake mix that you want. And that's what just makes this so amazing. It is the easiest cake recipe for cupcakes or cake mix or cake that you can make. So we're just gonna put our cake mix in. We're gonna do about 1 cup of our freeze-dried strawberries. And you don't need to rehydrate them or anything first. They'll get rehydrated, believe me. So then we're gonna do 1 can of 7-Up. Now you can use Sprite, you can use Sierra Mist, you could even do, if you did vanilla cake mix, you could do root beer and have kind of a root beer flavored cake. That's what makes this so awesome. You could do chocolate and a Dr. Pepper, or you could do, you could do strawberry, you could do vanilla cake and orange soda, so it's an orange creamsicle. It's just, the possibilities are endless. This is one of my favorite and easiest go-to meals. Desserts, I guess. This isn't really a meal. Desserts, treats. So once you get your soda, you're just going to mix this in. You can do any variation of fruit as well. If you wanted blueberries or something more tropical like pineapple, go ahead and you can do whatever you want in there. For today, we're doing strawberries because they're going to be on sale, and it just sounded delicious with some coconut frosting. So you just mix it in, and now it looks like a cake batter. This is just like normal cake batter. No need to add eggs or oil or anything else. That's all you need. Your cake mix, your soda, and your fruit. And then you're just going to line up. I'm doing cupcakes, so I'm going to line them just because it's less messy. But you can do them without the liners, or you can do cake. You could do a bundt cake. You could even do like a bar if you did it in a cookie sheet and did small cake bars. And from here, I'm going to just scoop it up. You want to make sure you get some strawberry chunks in each cupcake. In hindsight, I kind of wish I had added probably twice as much strawberries. I was a little nervous at first because I didn't want them to to rehydrate and absorb all the moisture in the cupcakes, but they turned out so beautifully. I really wish I had added a little bit. I think next time I'll add more strawberries into the batter. So just pour this into your cupcakes. I had enough for 23 cupcakes. I think I just overfilled a couple of them, but not too bad. And then you're just going to pop them in the oven. Follow your cake box directions. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So while we're waiting, I'm going to make the frosting. I'm starting with these coconut bites. Coconut bites from Thrive Life, oh my goodness, they're delicious. I have to hide them from my husband. They're so good. So I'm going to start these out and getting them rehydrated in some milk. So I'm just going to, sometimes they take a little bit of time to rehydrate. Honestly, the smartest way to do these is to powder them and then add them to liquid. But I don't know what I was thinking. I just didn't do that first this time. So we're just going to put them in milk and we'll set them aside while I work on the frosting. So now that we have those rehydrating, we're going to do 1 cube of cream cheese. This is 8 ounces of cream cheese. It doesn't have to be room temperature. Ideally, you want it closer to room temperature, but I just took mine out of the fridge right before doing this, so don't feel like you have to put your recipe on hold while it gets to room temperature or anything. 1 cube of butter, or 8 tablespoons, and that you do want melted. You want to melt that butter. And at this point, we're just going to blend them together with our hand mixer. Now, you do want to just get all the chunks out. That's all you're doing, is just making the cream cheese creamy. If you didn't blend these really well, you just might have lumps in your frosting or something along that line. So you just want to mix it real well. And it's not like you can over mix it, but it's not necessary to mix it any more than you have just lumps. Once it's just creamed together, you're good, and it's pretty simple. All right, so we're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar, but at first only add about half that. So we're going to add about 1 cup of the powdered sugar, and the reason we're going to just add half at first is we just want to slowly incorporate it. So this is going to make a really thin frosting, which if you wanted a really thin frosting, you'd be good to go. But if you added it all too much at once, sometimes it can make your frosting a little lumpy. It'll give you some lumps. So we're just going to add half of it at first, and then you can always add more to get to the consistency you want. Now we're going to add our coconut extract. There was about 1 teaspoon left in my container, so I added all that. A normal frosting, you would add vanilla. We just added coconut. Now we're going to check on our coconut bites. They are just not rehydrated as quickly as I'd like them to. We'll give them another minute and we'll blend this frosting up. So normal frosting, you would use vanilla extract, but for a fun twist with our strawberry cupcakes, I'm doing the coconut extract in these coconut bites. So it'll have a fun little strawberry coconut flavor. So we're going to blend this in, and then go ahead and add the rest of your powdered sugar. And so now we've got 2 cups of powdered sugar in there. And at this point, we're going to blend it all together, and then that's where you want to check the consistency of your frosting. Because for all intents and purposes, and it's a good thing we have an apron on, right? This is why you wear an apron. And for all intents and purposes, your frosting's pretty much done at this point. It's just all a matter of consistency, right? Oh, we got to add our milk. Okay, I'm tired of waiting for it to set up, so I just popped it in the blender. So pop it in the blender, it blended it right up, took all the coconut bites and smoothed them out into the milk. So now our frosting is pretty much done. So now it's just about consistency. It's about the thickness of the frosting. If we were spreading it over like a bar, or even maybe a cake, you might want it a little on the thinner side so it spreads really easy. If we were doing something like cookies or fancy decorating, we'd want it thicker. So when I did this, it really was still pretty thin. So I'm adding another 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar to the frosting. And that's the thing, is if it's too thin, add a little more powdered sugar. If the frosting's too thick, add a little bit of milk. And you just kind of go until you get the right consistency of the frosting that you need. Still slightly thin, so I'm going to add another 1/2 cup. And so altogether we've got 3¼ cups of powdered sugar. And this is pretty good. I want to be able to pipe it out, but it doesn't have to be firm enough. We're not going to use fancy decorating. For decorating, you want a thicker frosting. Now, remember, when you're putting in your frosting tubes, turn the top down. This just helps it keep a little cleaner and nicer. Normally I use a spoon, but actually this knife was pretty easy for me to scoop it clear down into the base of the piping bag. So I actually really liked that. Yes, it did feel a little bit like picking up rice with chopsticks, but patience is a virtue, right? So go ahead and fill that. And then now when you roll your top up, you don't have a messy top. of where you put your frosting in. So there's a couple ways. I'm using a really large open tip, and you always want to start from the middle and work your way out, and then you can come back to the middle. This one, all I'm doing is a solid pour. So this is just kind of, I'm not moving the tip. I prefer the swirl. I prefer to start at the middle and work your way around. I feel like you get better coverage and it looks a little swirly, a little more fancy, especially if you had a star tip on there. I just had a plain tip on for this time, but a star tip makes it really fancy when you swirl like that from the outside in. So you'll probably have to refill your frosting bag, your piping bag, and that's fine, that's normal. And go ahead and just frost them. Now these cupcakes had cooled off. You always want to frost them once they're cool. Don't frost them when they're hot or it'll melt right off. And there you have it. Our easy little strawberry coconut cupcakes. So super easy, minimal ingredients, and look at that. Oh, it tastes amazing. They turned out so fantastic.